Before law came fear. Before temples rose like mountains and kings etched their names into stone, there was only chaos. The earliest cities were not born of progress, but of pressure. A pressure so ancient, so suffocating, that it left its mark in bone and blood. This is not the story we are taught in school. This is not the tale of noble architects and wise priests. This is the scream beneath the silence, the truth buried beneath the ruins. The first cities were built on blood. Somewhere between myth and sediment, in the arid womb of Mesopotamia, lies Eridu, a city older than memory, crumbling beneath the weight of its own sacred lies. Eridu is often crowned the first city, a birthplace of gods and kings, but beneath its stacked temples lie layers of destruction, of sudden abandonment, of something else. Eridu was not built in peace. It was forged through dominance. Every mud brick was a command, every wall a boundary of who could live and who would die. What drove people together here wasn't community. It was terror. Climate chaos had turned fertile plains into withered earth. Water sources dwindled, nomads starved, and those who gathered at Eridu sought survival by consolidation. But survival had a price. Food, hoarded behind walls, required guards. Guards became rulers. Rulers demanded tribute, and those who refused to submit were silenced. As Eridu expanded, so did its hunger. Blood rituals marked its center. Some say the temple of Enki, god of fresh water and wisdom, masked older rites, rites steeped in predation. Beneath the temple layers, archaeologists have uncovered strange figurines, humanoid yet elongated, insectile. Their eyes unnervingly large, their bodies unnaturally thin. Some believe these are symbolic. Others whisper darker possibilities, echoes of something non-human that once walked among us, worshipped or feared. Traveling north, we arrive at Brak, an ancient urban horror hidden beneath Syrian dust. Here, in one of the oldest settlements known to man, we find a trench, a scar. Hundreds of skulls, dismembered and discarded. No burial, no reverence, just violence. The eye temple of Brak is infamous. Thousands of clay eyes were unearthed here, staring blankly into eternity. They pile in shrines like offerings or warnings. But to whom? Who needed so many eyes to watch? What was so terrifying, so unnatural, that even the dead were made to witness? Some say the eyes were for gods. Others think they were for rulers. But perhaps they were for something else, something that stalked these early cities from beyond the firelight. We tend to imagine the past as simpler, but the ruins of Brak suggest organized violence, social hierarchy, and deeply ingrained fear. Warfare wasn't an accident. It wasn't the result of misunderstandings. It was systemic. Prehistoric corpses show signs of brutal injuries, skulls caved in, jaws shattered. This was not raiding. It was eradication. Even children weren't spared. The early cities were magnets for power, but power attracts darkness. In Uruk, the city of Gilgamesh, we find the oldest known writing, cuneiform, a system not created to share wisdom, but to control. Grain, labor, taxation. It was inventory, not inspiration. Every mark pressed into clay served authority. Yet even here, something ancient clawed at the edges of human perception. Carvings of horned beasts, beings with wings and claws, a mythology of hybrid creatures. The Epic of Gilgamesh tells of monsters in the forest and gods who punish cities with floods. Is this allegory or memory? In Jericho, the walls rose early, too early. The city predates writing, yet its stone fortifications towered over the Neolithic landscape. Why? Who did they fear? No rival kingdoms existed then, no empires, only scattered tribes and ancient predators. And yet, the walls, seemingly excessive, almost panicked. Within Jericho, archaeologists found plastered skulls, human heads removed, filled with clay, their faces painted, eyes inset with shells. These skulls were kept in homes. Were they loved ones or trophies? Were they meant to honor or to imprison? There are whispers that these were ancestor spirits, bound in bone to protect the living, or perhaps to hold something else at bay. The first cities did not emerge from enlightenment. They were born of dread, of survival in a world where the human form was not yet dominant. We forget that once we were prey, and perhaps in some places we still were. In the underlayers of Uruk, deeper than kingship, deeper than clay tablets, fossils of extinct canids have been found. Creatures larger than wolves, capable of devouring children whole. Some remains show signs of ritual use. Bones cut, charred, arranged in patterns. Were these sacrifices? Pets? Or predators that once ruled us? The deeper we dig, the more questions rise. Skulls with cranial deformations. Teeth filed to points, burial positions twisted into fetal curls, surrounded by figurines whose meanings are long lost. It all suggests a lineage of belief and fear that we no longer understand, an inheritance of terror. And somewhere in the roots of this fear we may find the true origin of the city, the need to protect ourselves not just from each other, but from the things that hunted us in the dark. The story of our cities is not clean. It is not noble. It is written in ash, in blood, and in nightmares passed from mother to child. We built walls to keep something out, but maybe it was already inside.